What I've dared, I've willed, and what I've willed, I'll do. They think me mad, Starbuck does, but I'm demonic. I am madness maddened. That wild madness that's only calm to comprehend itself. The prophecy was that I should be dismembered, and I lost this leg. I now prophesy that I will dismember my dismemberer. That's a quote from Moby Dick, something widely regarded as one of the most defining literary works of all time. While it's not entirely related to the game that we're going to be talking about today, I do think that it's a good fit since Blacksea Odyssey has you literally dismembering gigantic space fish for gold and glory. And you pretty much play a Captain Ahab analog, so there's that too. That really is what Blacksea Odyssey is all about. Once every decade, the universe's greatest hunters gather for a tournament of monster slaying of the same name. The game has you taking control of various hunters that you unlock by completing challenges, and it sets you out into the vast, dark ocean of space armed with your harpoon, spears, and wits. In words that I'll pull from another game's repertoire, you are set out to rip and tear. When you begin a game, you pick the hunter that you want to play and the harpoon you want to wield. I've only got the one hunter and harpoon unlocked after a few hours of play, so I'm either really bad or it just takes forever to get one. Once you've picked these, you then get this screen. From here, you choose your next bounty, or you shop, or you just listen to the combatants bickering back and forth. The UI itself could be better. The places you have to click to navigate through menus they're weird. And when you're in the shop, you can't just click outside of the shop to close it or even just hit the escape key on the keyboard. It's a really minor issue, but that kind of problem carries over through all of the interface screens. Apart from that, I really like this menu that has you listening to characters or searching for a bounty. As you progress through a run, you'll actually see how many bounties have been done and everyone's scores and their current rank in the game. There's a bounty board where you can see all available beasties for the current round, and each of them have their stats procedurally generated. So even if it's the same creature, there are minor differences in each fight, which is just a great design choice. It adds a lot of variance to the whole ordeal. Once you've decided on your mark, you get dropped into a chunk of space with all kinds of hostile creatures in it. There are a bunch of different space fish floating around, and you'll very often have to dispatch a few batches of them as you search through the square you're in hunt for your true quarry. These little guys that you'll be fighting, they're not just little bits of cannon fodder for you. I mean, eventually they'll be super easy to take care of, but when you start, they're more than that. When you're just starting a run or you're new to the game, they serve as great practice with the harpoon and movement systems, and also they give you loot which you need to buy stuff in shops. Eventually, you'll see a big red marker on your radar that looks like something fun to fight. That is your bounty, the thing that you have been set out to dismantle. The next part is something that's just... It's just cool. I really like how they set up encounters with the bigger creatures, so just watch this. You see that? It's so awesome! There are a number of things that are great about this. Your first time approaching a bounty, you'll be expecting it to be out in the open like the rest of them, but when you arrive, it's not there. But then you notice it, blurred, in the background. Well, how do I fight it, you ask yourself? And then you pilot yourself over it and it swells into existence. The blur grows larger and becomes clear. The music kicks off and you ready your harpoon as the encounter begins. That is how you add weight to a fight in a game like this. It is so well done. It's probably one of my favorite things that the game does. As a slight tangent, Blacksea Odyssey is fantastic at handling scale. The coolest moment that I've had so far was fighting a Leviathan for the first time. I spent 5 or 6 rounds fighting things of about this size. They're significantly larger than my bounty hunter, but they still mostly fit entirely on the screen. The Leviathan, it does not fit on the screen. Not even before you start the fight. It has dozens of body parts and appendages that you need to tear off. And I lost that fight after struggling for a pretty good amount of time to rip the thing apart. The encounters, their difficulty, and their scale, they're all things that this game has locked down like no other. By extent, combat itself is pretty damn solid. I wouldn't consider it the best, but it's pretty good. The spears themselves go back and forth between useful and useless. When it comes to smaller swarm enemies, they're pretty great. Just pop a couple of them into a baddie and poof, it's gone. When it comes to the larger ones though, it feels like you're giving them acupuncture or something, and I kinda think that's the point. You can use the spears to weaken specific body parts to make them easier to tear off, so in order to get the most out of them, you have to do more than just mindlessly fling them at an enemy. You have to take aim and fire with precision. On top of that, there are various runes and items that you can get to improve or add on abilities. You can fire faster, move faster, do more damage, hurl fireballs that circle around you in a circle, and deal lots of damage to things that hit, you know, standard stuff like that. There's a huge variety in these power-ups, and each time I've played, I've ended up with a very different build. You can find these by beating powerful enemies or opening chests, but you can also buy and sell items and upgrades in the shop between bounties. In truth, I think the biggest drawback that Blacksea Odyssey has is some of its visuals. Anything that's not in motion feels like it suffers from the art style that's been chosen, and it's really not a lot. The loading screen is the biggest offender, and you rarely see that, so I don't consider it entirely detrimental. Like I mentioned earlier, the UI could also use some work, and I'd lump that in with still visuals. Apart from that, the game is amazingly fun and exhilarating. You can pick it up for about $10 on Steam, and that's an absolute steal. If you like top-down shooters, Moby Dick references space, or the idea of dismembering the hell out of giant alien space fish for gold and glory, then this is one for you. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you have any indie games that I should check out, then please shoot them my way. You can leave a comment down below, or you can drop me a line on Twitter. My handle's @forkh, or you can shoot me an email at fork4h@gmail.com. I'll see you next time. Bye!